Going to be going live here. We are live on YouTube, and let's get it going with our.
What is going on?
What's up, everybody? What's going on, everybody here? Thank you to everyone on TikTok. 36 people joining us. We are on YouTube as well. If you want to check us out there for the full experience, thank you. What's going on, Las Primas chat? What's going on, Las Primas?
How's it going, everybody? I am Huge. This is ReL, and we are the underserved movement. Tonight, we're going to be talking about immigrants being shipped to other places, or migrants, you know what I mean, being used as a political stunt. We're going to be covering some of Trump's woes, some of Trump's troubles, and we're going to be talking about a few other topics, just bouncing around, stuff like that. We are live on TikTok and on YouTube. Make sure you guys check us out. Much love. And ReL, kick us off, man. What's going on?
Man, what a couple of weeks, right, man? Like, geez Louise. Obviously, we starting off with the conversation about the fiasco that went down with Texas and Florida, Governor DeSantis, and taking these human lives that were trying to, be here legally, do things the right way, go through the process of getting work and finding a home and building a better life, which is the goal for everyone coming to America. And just to see that go down was just unbelievable, embarrassing, unfortunate, and just uncalled for, unnecessary, and ridiculous, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. And for those that don't know what happened, DeSantis, the governor of Florida, took it upon himself to take immigrants that are legally following the process to become citizens, right? Took it upon himself to take 48 of these people from Texas, not only take them from Texas to Florida, but from Florida, send them to New York. What was the destination, bro? What was the destination that they were being sent to?
They were sent to Martha's Vineyard,
right?
There was also, I believe, Governor Greg Abbott also did the same thing and sent people to, from what I read in reports, to Vice President Kamala Harris's home.
Wow. And so all of this was to show the world how Democrats are hypocrites. All of this was an attempt to see how Democrats will be hypocrites.
To call their bluff, essentially.
Exactly, because everybody says, well, if you're a Democrat, why don't you take these immigrants at your home? Why don't you accept them at your house, right? And it backfired. As I thought, as anybody that's humane would act, these people were received without notice, without any sort of organization or any sort of courtesy or any sort of planning. They were sent to this island on Martha's Vineyard. And
yeah, that's correct. Yep.
The people responded humanely, brought food, transportation, a place to sleep. And then after that, they sent them on to a facility.
Yep.
They send them on somewhere where they were capable of handling 48 people.
Yeah, for the military complex. Yeah, it was very interesting because it kind of backfired in the sense that it showed the difference, if anything, in the way the Democratic leadership there responded immediately and with compassion and love, really. Not only did they assist them with, give them food and meals and welcome them and make them feel try to ease the burdens they were experiencing and the trauma that was caused by that event. But they also gave them food, clothing, like you mentioned food, but I was seeing they were giving them the kids toys and people clothing and shoes and things of that nature. So I think ultimately it backfired. I think more than anything, the way that I kind of saw it was that DeSantis and Abbott were trying to say, well, if you love these people so much, then you deal with them. And what what really strikes me as interesting is that they, the Republican Party and these conservative evangelical Christians, they claim to be the party of love and Christ, but they're doing the complete opposite. You know what I mean? So it just blows my mind that took place. I mean, I understand, because Huge, I don't know if you know this, but it's a common thing where, like, for instance, like in Texas and El Paso, they have so many people crossing every day, every week. They coordinate like transportation, and they coordinate, getting them to other places, moving them around so they can have shelter and stuff like that. But the key word in that is coordinate. They coordinate, they let everybody know, they let the people know what's happening, where they're going, where they're coming from. And the fact that there was a complete absence of that was what made this whole thing like despicable.
Right. Our border, our Mexico-U.S. border is the most active border in the world. It's also the only country, the first world country, that borders a third world country. So I understand the pressures that Texas goes through, that California goes through as well. But this stunt, because that's what it was, a political stunt, was a total just. It was such a bad taste, even for politics. And I say this because the mayor was a Republican. Oh, excuse me, the governor of that state was Republican and disgusted. That law enforcement officer, the sheriff from Texas, from a conservative state, is disgusted.
He was very upset. He was very upset with what happened, how it happened, and it was really refreshing. Shout out to everybody on TikTok. It was really refreshing to see a sheriff, someone in a high position in law enforcement, speak the truth about what happened and how disgusting it was. So, yeah,
absolutely, it makes me feel like there's hope for reasonable people to be on both sides. It brings hope to me that, hey, there is some conservatives that are reasonable, that are grounded down to earth. These are people that are able to sit down and actually debate their point of view, and debate, with no malice, and be honest about what they want and what they represent. It just is so weird. The post-Trump era, politics is just pulled into like a Twilight Zone. People are just doubling down on extremism.
Mm-hmm.
On extremism.
Yeah.
And
it's because they're feeding the monsters, bro. They're feeding the lions, they're feeding the zombies, they're feeding their constituents, they're feeding the people that keep them in power, bro. And the worst part of it, the most despicable part of it to me, besides the act itself, these people, imagine Huge coming somewhere for a better life, trying to do things the right way, and not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, being offered a job, being offered help, and then being just completely like just being toyed around with and like tossed in the trash. And then to see the responses from the Republican Party, bro, they're laughing about it. They're, you know what I mean? They're, what did stupid ass Cruz say? Oh yeah, I heard DeSantis is opening his own private airline in Florida. Like it just, how can you sit there? It's just hypocrisy. Hypocrites sit there and say we're the party of Christ, and then laugh at all these people's lives that you're toying with.
To piggyback on that, these are people that are actually following the process. These are actually people that are following the process, getting in line to become a U.S. citizen. These are people that are actually looking to get visas, become citizen, and actually following the process. So it just goes to show that they don't really care that if you follow the process or not. They're gonna treat you like you know what I'm saying? They're going to treat you less than. Imagine being on a waiting list for 18 to 20 years, or 18 months to 10 years. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. We have some people here, one person who's adamantly, Cynthia Phillips, 50 versus 2 million. Wow, what big hearts elites have. Give migrants candy and hand-me-downs and send them, and then they should have taken some in, take some into your city. They are illegal. These people were trying to do things legally. That's the thing. That's the misunderstanding that people are. These are Venezuelans. They weren't people from Mexico jumping the border. They were here for asylum. They were doing things legally, the legal way, and they still were treated that way. And the thing is that we're not saying that it's not an issue it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue with people coming in and wanting to be here, and we can't really blame them to want to be here. And we have a really huge problem in the way the system, like you said, Huge, waiting 18 years, 10, 20 years to get here and do things legally. The system needs improvement, and like drastic improvement. Regardless of who's in the White House, like it just needs improvement. You obviously aren't going to keep people out, so figure out another way. And that's the catch-22 here, bro. And we talked about that, is that at the end of the day, it's not that you want them to do it legally. It's not that you want them to do it the right way. It's that you don't want them here. That's what it is. Like, you just don't want them here. Just be straight up. We do not want anybody here, right? It's not about the right way. It's not, you just don't want them here, because if it was about the right way, you'd make it easier. But if you made it easier, then it would be easier for more people to get in, and you don't want people to get in. And that's the catch-22, bro, is that, like, again, double-edged sword. What was America founded on? Like,
immigrants. Straight
bro.
Immigrants.
Like, everybody. What's the Statue of Liberty doing there? What's it say? We welcome you. So our foundation is based on bringing immigrants, on immigrants coming here. So now people don't like it, and how do you change the history of the nation?
Right. I mean, well, since the country's never liked anybody. The country's never liked any foreigners. Right. Never liked any foreigners. During the Holocaust, just a little bit of history. During the Holocaust, we allowed 255,000 Jew refugees to land over here and stay over here, when we had room to do it like about over 1 million. You know what I mean? But we only did 250,000 because that was the bare minimum that we didn't want any Jews here. You know what I'm saying? Like, people didn't want any immigrants here, and it's just throughout time, man. It's always been the same thing. Just a xenophobic mentality. You know what I'm saying? I rather, just like ReL said, I'd rather you just say, "Hey, I don't want nobody here." I'd rather you just say that, instead of hiding behind platitudes or hiding behind disguised opinions. People, you know what I'm saying, that disguise behind opinions that align with their goals. You know, when they say, "Hey, man, we have a 200 or 2 million immigrants that's an issue. We can't be having them." Just say you don't want them here. Just have the balls to say that you don't want them here. You know what I'm saying? But more importantly, these are people that are doing it the right way, and you guys still shun them.
Yeah.
These are people that have been waiting in line and doing it successfully, like just waiting their turn, waiting to get in, and they still get treated like that. Because that's how you feel. That's how you feel. You feel like, you know what I mean? These people ain't worth, they're less than.
Yeah.
They're less than.
You know, we got the same person who's very opinionated here saying these people have no skills, no language, no education, no money. They're going to be trafficked and taken advantage of. Unaccompanied minors, OMG, who is keeping up with these kids? And yeah, man, those kids are I absolutely.
Why don't we use resources?
I absolutely disagree with saying no skills, no language, no education. That's just.
Here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know. What we've been saying here, like, you want to fix this with a wall. What's the solution? Because we're advocating for money to be used properly to revamp and redo these medians from A to B, right? These people want to get in. There's a process that needs to be done. We're trying to get it revamped. We're trying to get money sent and used there.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of spending $8 billion to not just build a wall, to maintain it, right, for a couple of years, we want to use that money to revamp some of these avenues where immigrants are allowed to properly get in. A filtration system, like a filtering system, a better filtering system, a better process. That's what we're advocating over here. I mean, it's if so you made that, and we're not denying that there's not an issue. We're saying there is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
We acknowledge that there is an issue, and we're not strictly liberal here. We're not conservative. We're not liberal. We like to take the best ideas to move forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The best idea is to move forward. So if you feel like you're being attacked, or if you feel like we're attacking conservatives, it's not about that, because nobody here said open the borders.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, we want secure borders. There's got to be a better process. There's got to be a better filtering system, and we advocate money to be sent there, something to be done to revamp it. And with that, man, moving on to Trump's woes, man.
Oh man, Trump's legal woes. This guy. This morning, Attorney General for New York announced a civil lawsuit for $250 million against Trump, his family, his children, his businesses for falsifying his worth for the betterment of his positioning for loans, for taxes and things of that nature. That was the latest blow, and amongst many. It seems like every day something new is happening with this guy. Going to the big DOJ investigation. They fought for a special master, and they got the special master. The special master said, "Okay, well, give me the proof that you declassified these documents." And Trump's lawyers and defense team basically said no.
Yeah, and then this is okay. So let's break this down a little bit. We have a New York Attorney General that announced 3 years ago, bro, that they were going to be investigating him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, when he was still in office, New York's had already been on his case, like already surveilling him. You know what I'm saying? And they launched an investigation 3 years ago, and this is the fruits of their labor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the DOJ, Department of Justice, that's going after these secret documents, and that department now. Trump has over 20 cases, all right, that he's being investigated for, and still, the sycophant fans of this man will say, "You guys just want him out. You guys, everybody's against Trump. Everybody's against Trump." And it's like, wait, hold on. He's been investigated for the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 7 years, he's been investigated, and there's levels to this. There's fruits of people's labors, and people, these roosters are gonna come home to roost, and it's just gonna be one after another, bro. It's gonna be one after another, and these sycophantic people are just gonna be like, you see, everybody's out to get them. Yeah. Everybody's out to get them. They don't care about the 3-year investigation here, the 2-year investigation over here, this department doing their own, private investigation here. Their own judge that he appointed, is not falling for his shit.
He said, literally, bro, the judge said, "You can't have your cake and eat it too." Bro, come on, bro.
He thought he was gonna get backed. It's like,
dude,
we got him here.
Yep.
We got him. We got a way out here. Hell no.
Dude, the dude's been involved with lawsuits and just all his life, man. It's not like something new. Like, this is the dude's MO from the jump, bro. I mean, it's to me, the biggest thing is how disheartening it is to realize that there's so many people that will fall for like fish oil, bro. Like, it's unbelievable to me that there's so many people. There's people in his crowds with their number one in the air, like the new Nazi salute, you know what I mean? Like, dude, like, how can you how can you walk around and be that like susceptible to BS, bro? Like, look at his character from the jump, bro. That from day one, look who he's a slime ball, bro. Comprised of slime way before politics, bro.
Oh yeah.
People are just, I mean, I hate to say it, but there's just some people that are ignorant to being hustled, bro.
Yeah.
And when you're a hustler, when you've dealt with different, groups of people all your life, from the streets to street smart and business smart, and dealing with, even low level politics, you recognize things, and you realize the type you see through. You see through the suits, you see through the wallets, you see through the checking accounts to the heart of man, and you can see slime, and there's so many people that aren't able to do that, and those are the people that are wearing his hats and waving his flags and worshiping him as like the orange Jesus, bro. It's unbelievable.
No, yeah, this it's just, man, and I really hope that there's a conclusion to all of this. I hope that we find the gold at the end of this rainbow. You know what I mean? And it just, it sucks because there was quite a few things that I would agree with Trump on certain aspects, certain politic aspects, but his whole delivery, just the way he gets down is it's just not in good taste at all, man. And the way he handles things, and supposedly this image that he portrays, and just, that's not you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you're not gonna. He has people, these sycophants, these people that are just obsessed with Trump, finally have a champion to get behind, and they don't care what he does. They don't care what he does. They finally have a champion that they feel they resonate with him. You know what I'm saying? They're allowed to say, yo, we don't want immigrants here, America first. This is the type of like atmosphere that they feel most free in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Finally, because they don't true people that are really conservative and really believe in Christ and family and have morals and ethics and live by the 10 Commandments are not condemning immigrants. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing certain things to belittle humans. You know what I'm saying? But that just goes to show, man, that there's two different types of conservatism, man.
Yeah,
two different types of Republicans.
Yeah, and I think it boils down to relatability. It's really interesting. I always try to see things from every point of view and try to break things down and try to figure things out. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of his supporters feel like they can relate to him because they understand his words, his minimal like achievement in like academics in terms of like terminology and using fourth, fifth grade level language.
100%.
They're able to relate to that. One of Obama's biggest complaints from people like everywhere in general was that he was too smart. Like, he just spoke too eloquently. People couldn't follow along. People couldn't. Not the average person, the average Joe, the dude in Kentucky making liquor out of his sweat socks. Like, he couldn't relate to anything Obama was saying. Right. And then here comes Trump. Black. Yeah, and he was black. And Trump comes out here and says bigly and huge and like slogans and whatever that are like tremendous. Yeah. And so they're like, oh, I don't know what that means. Yeah. And so and then they admire him as someone who they feel, for whatever reason, pulled up his bootstraps and became a multimillionaire. Even though that's not the case. That's literally like not the story of his life. You know what I mean? He's always been rich. He grew up in a rich family. They gave him money to continue. When you're in wealth, like wealth is, and that's okay. Like, wealth is awesome. Like, if we could be wealthy and have generational wealth, that's an amazing thing. And that's what he's been a part of, a generational wealth through his father and the family that he was brought into. But that's the misconception, is that they're like, yeah, he worked to achieve his wealth. And it's like,
Yeah.
he didn't have to do anything. He could have been wealthy for the rest of his life without venturing into, you know, properties and hotels and failing at like steaks and books and whatever else all the other hundreds of things he's failed at, you know. But he had the entrepreneurial spirit, which is awesome. But he absolutely he didn't go from the streets of the East Side ghetto in some podunk city to a millionaire in New York. That's absolutely not the story.
Right.
But yeah, man, circling back, he's got tons of legal issues right now. And one of the things you and I have talked about is that we really need to see justice. We really just need to see justice. Like, I don't care if Biden got his hand caught in the cookie jar, Obama, Clinton, whoever, if any of those guys, I mean, dude, Clinton got roasted for getting a little lollipop lick in the office. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, anybody who does things they're not supposed to do, they need to see justice, bro. And
100%.
This whole thing is like absolutely gonna define the way the American justice system is viewed, not only by American citizens, but by the world. What is America gonna do when the highest person in power in our nation commits crimes? Like, what are we going to do about that? And if our answer is nothing, then we're in a world of hurt, bro. Because if he gets away with what he did, whatever, whether you think it wasn't a big deal, but if nothing is done, that means that anybody after him can do the same thing.
Exactly. No, I agree, man. I agree. We need to see justice, and the hand of justice is slow but steady. So
right here, bro. No one is above the law, period. That's a comment that we got from Silly Pam in the TikTok. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. And unfortunately, Huge, like you and I have talked about, we do see two systems of justice in America. We see the system of justice for the rich and wealthy and you know, predominantly white, and the system for everybody else. And it's not just white people, because you can go back to the O.J. Simpson trial. The dude had more money. He had better lawyers. He was an actor. He was famous. And whether he was or wasn't guilty, like, most people in that position would have been found guilty, right? So we see the justice just kind of, there's two systems of justice, and this is going to be the biggest example of what we stand, or what our values are in the justice system. This is going to be the biggest event in our lifetime. To see how they respond.
100%. And that just goes to show, guys, that we, like ReL said, man, there's two different justice systems until this gets resolved. This needs a conclusion. Hopefully the hand of justice is steadily moving. It might be slow, but it's steadily moving. And in closing, I just want to say that thank you, TikTok, everybody that's on TikTok, anybody that's watching on YouTube. I love you guys, man. We just wanted to come in here and give you a little short episode, give you a little taste of the underserved movement. And any thoughts, ReL? Any closing thoughts, ReL?
Yeah, you know, I just want to say, if you guys are watching, we appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Everybody in TikTok that joined us today, everybody that joined our YouTube live, everybody that's watching. If you guys have ideas for topics, if you guys want to write us and share your opinion, if you guys want to join us on the podcast to express your views, whatever it is, whatever side you're on, you know, we welcome you. And again, if you haven't followed us on YouTube, please be sure to do that. We want to grow the YouTube channel. That's where you get the full experience. TikTok's a little different, but if you guys want to, you know, take the time to go out and follow us, we'd appreciate it. But other than that, thank you guys so much for listening. This was a little bit shorter than usual, but we'll be coming back for more. Yeah,
we're just giving you a little taste where everybody's recovering from being sick and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Look, man, this is the underserved movement, man, and that's what we're about. We like to get both sides. We also like to take the best ideas and move forward. We're not liberal and we're not conservative here, but we like to call it right down the middle. So with that being said, I am Huge. This is the co-founder of ReL, and we are the underserved movement.
Much love, everybody. We'll see you guys soon.